What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast. My name's Isaiah, joined tonight by Mark, Sean, and Ted. How are you guys doing this weekend?
Doing pretty good.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Pretty good. Most triumphant.
Well, we are happy to be back this week. We do have a big announcement. We are happy to announce that we have joined the Slash and Cast podcast network. And it's a great opportunity for us. We've been working on this podcast for over a year now, and being able to have this opportunity to join like-minded podcasts and creative people and be able to collaborate and kind of grow as a group, I think it's a great opportunity for us. So we just first off want to say thank you to Slash and Cast for giving us this opportunity to be a part of their network and kind of grow along with them. And I'm super excited for it. We're joining other podcasts like Slashercast, The Lane Shift, We Came From Beneath the Sea, Make Every Death Count, and two of my personal favorites, the Heels and Quads Wrestling podcast and We Watched a Movie. So very, very, very exciting and very happy to be a part of this.
Yeah, we watched a movie. They're really good. They had a YouTube, or they still do, but before I heard of them as an audio podcast, they were a YouTube channel, and I checked them out a while ago, and I really liked them a lot. On the network, my personal favorites, because I've been listening to them too, I really like Dead in Santa Carla, and then there's one called Bloody Date Night.
Yep.
And that one's just a couple that watch movies together and they review it, and they're really freaking funny. So if you guys are interested, definitely check that out.
Yeah, that was one of the ones I wanted to check out. So
It's good. I
haven't had a chance to check any of it out, but it's pretty cool. I think it's fun. Good luck, guys. Hopefully we don't scare everybody. So.
I just want to say, just a second, I wrote this down somewhere. Just a second, where is it? Oh, there it is. Slash and Cast is the best than the rest. Guys, did that check clear now? Can't get did the check clear?
Jesus.
There was no check. What did I sign and send to the bank? Oh, that was the power of attorney. Oh crap, guys! I'll be back. I gotta make a few calls.
Good God. Oh man.
All kidding aside, thank you, Slash and Cast. Has really shocked us. We didn't expect anybody to reach out to us for anything like this. Period. So
Yeah,
this is pretty cool. So thank you again for giving us the chance.
definitely. I do like that they have the Heels and Quads Wrestling podcast, because it's basically a horror podcast network, but then you have wrestling in there. And I think it's great because obviously wrestling and horror go hand in hand. I mean, you look throughout the years with wrestlers that have been in horror movies and vice versa. I mean, it's a great pairing. I'm especially excited about that. And I know that we've talked about wrestling in the past on our podcast too. So I definitely think it's a good fit. So I think it's great, and I think good things are going to come from all this. So I'm super, super excited. But beyond that, though, what have you guys been up to this week?
Not a damn thing, man. Just freaking life. That's all I gotta say.
Man, yeah, go ahead, Ted.
Go ahead, Mark. You started talking before I did. Go ahead.
I was saying, man, I had a pretty good week, just chock full of nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
You and Ted have been blowing up the group chat talking about Cobra Kai, so I checked it out last night and I binged the whole first season, and I loved every fucking second of it. I will probably binge maybe another. I probably won't watch the whole second season tonight, but I'll probably watch a good 6 or 8 episodes tonight because I got to go to bed for work in the morning. But
that season 2 finale. That season 2 finale is freaking wild, man. It was awesome.
That's just so great how they got so many of the actors to come back. They got Daniel's mom to come back.
Yes.
They got obviously I can't the name Mr. Miyagi, the actor name
Pat Morita.
Yeah, he can't be there obviously because he passed like in 2000, early 2000 something.
Yeah, 2005.
Yeah, but they pay amazing homage to him, and they go down the path where you're kind of like reliving the whole Daniel training thing, and it's just great. I love the redemption arc for Johnny. And I love that it shows that they're both assholes and they're both misunderstood at the same time.
Yep.
Yes.
It's great. Absolutely great. Other than that, I finally because I was listening to again Dead in Santa Carla, and they reviewed The Conjuring, and it just got me vibing on that movie because I love it so much. And I finally opened up my copy of Conjuring 2 like 4 or 5 years late and put it in and watched it for the first time.
Okay.
It wasn't as solid as the first one. The first one was
decent, but nowhere near as good as the first.
Yeah.
I thought the Crooked Man was scarier than that nun.
The whole nun thing isn't my favorite.
Yeah.
Mark, have you ever been to a Catholic school? I think you're highly misinformed.
When it first came on, I was prepared to not like it because the whole Amityville thing has been beat to death, and I thought this movie was going to be all about Amityville, and it was only for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then they referenced it a couple more times.
Yeah.
Just like all of you minus Sean watched Bill and Ted Face the Music. Man, so much nostalgia this week, and I'm not going to quote anything. I'm not going to say anything because I think you all should definitely watch it. It is a good fucking movie. Still, like I was telling these guys, Bogus Journey is still cemented as my favorite, but this movie is just as good as the other two.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that and Cobra Kai, man. Like, I wanted to get it in this week. It just didn't happen, but that's my goal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if those are the biggest goals in life, but that's my goal this week. See that stuff. So.
Well, it's always good to have like short-term goals.
Right.
Sean, forget raising your kids. I mean, the internet's there for that. Just watch Cobra Kai.
I saw a meme that said some shit like that. They were like, it was like, forget binging Netflix shows. Some of y'all need to binge watching your damn kids.
That's great. Child negligence.
Shit.
This week I really didn't do anything. Just work. I binge watched season 1 of Cobra Kai Friday after work. Yesterday I binge watched all of season 2 as soon as I got up at like 7:30 in the morning, and I was just like, time to go season 2 now. And I said that season 2 finale was so freaking awesome, and it had me on the edge of my seat, and I was just like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen here? It was awesome. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait till season 3. Then I watched Bill and Ted Face the Music last night with my dad. I just bought it digitally on Amazon. I was like, what the heck? I'll just buy it. I mean, it's only a $5 difference between renting and buying, so I was just like, I might as well just buy it.
Right.
So I did that, and we both love the movie.
Ted's a streamer guy now.
No, this is not going to be my normal. This is definitely not my normal.
Time to get rid of the Blu-ray collection.
Never.
Blasphemy.
Blu-ray. The Blu-rays and the 4K stay. They will never go away. And we both loved it. It was great. That's pretty much it. The New Mutants I know came out, and everybody's laughing because it made like less than $1 million, but I was like, you do realize a lot of theaters are still closed.
Yeah, I thought it was everybody's knocking it, and half the critics won't even go and see it because they wouldn't offer it digitally, so they're like kind of protesting it in a way.
Yeah,
they're like, not until it's safe in theaters, and then they make fun of the fact that it didn't make any money. It's like, well, it didn't make any money for the very reason your dumbass wouldn't fucking review it. So
exactly.
that's my opinion. So,
I
still want to see that. That movie looks awesome.
Yeah.
Last week when I took my dad and nephew and we went and saw Empire Strikes Back in the theaters. When I bought the tickets online, I bought 3 seats together. Automatically, the computer system voided 2 seats on both sides of our 3 seats for the social distancing stuff. So right there, you're still cutting, attendance because they don't want everybody sitting together because everybody's still freaked out about COVID.
Yep.
And then tickets, of course, I was telling Isaiah before we went on the air here that with the ticket prices, the 3 tickets plus the online convenient fee that they freaking charge, bull crap. It only cost me $15 for 3 tickets. So ticket prices are like down because of everything. They wanted people to come back, and we're safe, we're clean because, social distancing, blah, blah. And just like, it's funny that they're making fun of the New Mutants only making like $750,000 when first off,
30% capacity.
Yeah. Are they factoring in at all the digital movie sales? Because most people are going to be sitting at home watching it.
That one's not available. That one's not available, and that's what pissed all the critics off.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't notice it because I was going to go watch that because when I looked, because I really wanted to go watch a movie this weekend, and I looked and I couldn't find Bill and Ted anywhere, so I was going to go watch New Mutants this weekend, and I finally found a rinky-dink little old school, and it's not rinky-dink. It's real nice theater. It's just the old style where you don't reserve your seats. You just buy your ticket and you go in and sit down wherever you want. And man, if it wasn't for me living so close to 4 different state lines, I would not have seen this movie because North Carolina is not opening anything.
Right.
See, my theater, like I said, my theater is open, but they're not showing Bill and Ted. They're showing the New Mutants, Tenet, and that Copperfield movie, whatever that is.
Yeah,
those are the only 3 movies.
They show Bill and Ted too.
Because y'all could have got money from me because I like going to the movie. I like the movie going experience. I've been doing it my whole life.
Definitely.
Man, I like going sitting in there, big screen, playing a movie. Got the sound system. It's all It's just a great feeling. But no, let's not show Bill and Ted. Let's show Tenet. I don't give a freaking crap about Tenet. I care about Bill and Ted. That's why I spent $27.
I don't think I've ever experienced this before in a movie theater. It was empty. There were literally 2 other people there. So the social distancing, they didn't even have to even try because there was nobody going.
People are freaked out over this.
That's how it is here. Any place that is open, people just aren't there anyway. So you don't even have to. Like, we went to the zoo in DC, and there still wasn't nobody there.
Right.
Now, you see, over the years, I've been to a couple of movies to where I was the only one in the theater. That's happened to me twice. The first time it happened to me, I went and saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one in the theater. And then it happened again exactly 10 years later, the new Blair Witch movie. I went to a matinee because I was being cheap, and I was like, I'm only paying $5, so
yeah.
I went and saw it. And again, I was the only one in the theater, which made it a little extra creepy and awesome because the surround system, you have all the because they're in the woods, so you have like the rain and stuff, and sometimes I just kept like looking to my side like I heard something. I'm like, what the? Oh, it's just the movie. It was pretty cool. But it's cool because I was just like, because my theater has those seats where you can recline out, hit the button, and so I just sat back and just enjoyed the movie by myself without anybody, going. Oh, my phone! I'm gonna shine the theater on my phone. I gotta see if Betsy wants to sleep with me tonight. Oh, she doesn't because I'm gross. Okay, well, let me text Billy here. And
see, that's why I love Alamo Drafthouse because they don't allow that shit. They should shut that shit down right away.
Oh yeah,
anything like that.
That's the way the Regal is. Somebody will come in and tell you to leave.
I'm over exaggerating, but it was just nice being by yourself.
Right.
I normally don't have negative experiences going to the movies. It's usually quiet. People will talk like in the beginning, obviously, because nothing going on, but.
Right.
I mean, who cares about? They call it Noovie. It's just movie.
Yeah, Noovie.
Yeah,
I hate that shit.
They're like, get on your cell phones now and play this game for 30 seconds and see if you want anything. I'm like, is the prize you getting off the screen? Because that'll be great.
Isn't it kind of funny they'd advertise a cell phone game when they want you to turn your cell phone?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's so stupid. God.
Pew pew.
I do miss
Shoot
going to the
adverts
theater,
on
though.
your cell phone.
I do really miss going to the theaters because obviously I went to the drive-in. I posted about that on Facebook and Twitter, that going to the drive-in for Bill and Ted Face the Music. They did a double feature of that and Footloose, which was a lot of fun. It was nice to just get out and do something for once because it's been a long time. And with like the last couple of weeks, getting my house ready and kind of basically just working my ass off almost nonstop, it was a nice break just to get out and just basically do nothing while at the same time doing something instead of being cooped up in the house. So that was a lot of fun. And then I basically came back home and went right to bed because I had to work this morning. But then Friday, I ended up watching Terror Firmer to get ready for tonight. But beyond that,
I watched that today too. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Terra Firma. Amazing Grace.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I haven't really done anything just beyond housework. So that's been kind of my week. Not a whole lot going on.
Speaking of drive-ins, man, I don't know if y'all heard, but of course everybody knows I always talk about the Mahoning, but they teamed up with people from Monster Mania, and Halloween weekend it's Monster Mania at the Mahoning. $30 a ticket, 40 for overnight.
I wish
And they're gonna have all and they're trying to cram as many as the same vendors that they have. Tom Savini's gonna be there, and the girl that played Judith from the first Halloween, I can't think of her name.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
So it's like a miniature Monster Mania at the drive-in, and they're showing Creep Show and a couple other movies. So it's kind of cool mixture. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, but it's still awesome, man. So Monster Mania gets to actually exist in some form. There is a con out there.
God, that would be so much fun. Next year, I got to make it a point
fast,
to go
man.
out
Nice.
there.
It's because we watched Terra Firma and they sang Amazing Grace. It happened.
There you go.
God's like, you know what? I'm going to give you guys Monster Mania. But it's going to cost you $30. 40 over.
I was like, it's cool, man, but damn, they bumped that ticket price up.
Yeah.
I get it, but
Are they still doing like the big social distancing there too? Because I know last time you went, it was like, wasn't it like a certain amount of space between each person's tent? If you're doing,
I mean, they express it, but it's loose, if that makes sense. So,
yeah, gotcha.
I mean, when you go up to the snack bar and stuff, everybody's wearing masks and people kind of, but you see someone,
my job,
like they're not hating on assholes. And I'm gonna be real, the tents, like mine was a good decent place, but there was definitely some people that were probably too close to each other. But everybody was trying to the best.
Yeah.
No one was out there like Naziing anybody about it. So.
At work, we were supposed to wear masks when we were in the hallway or something like that. I'll walk off and forget it. I'm just like, whatever. I'm not getting sick. I mean, if I remember it when I walk out the door of the room and I'll be like, oh, I gotta get my mask. But if I just forget, I'm just like, whatever, I forgot. I was like, if that's the case, if I'm gonna get it from just breathing the air in the hallway, my door is wide open, so the air is throughout the whole building, so it means I'm gonna get it anyway. If that's the case, so it really, this whole thing is just people covering their own butts for any liability issues at this point. That's all it is.
Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, that's just kind of our reality right now. It's mask wearing
It's the way I see it, man. I want to keep my job. I got to put the mask on.
Yep. Same.
It's not even lose my job. It's just the fact that, like, if somebody comes down with it and I was like in close proximity to that person without a mask, then I'm automatically forced to quarantine for 2 weeks from work. It's freaking wow. That's the policy right now at work. They're like, now if you have your mask on, then again, you're not, what is it, the 15-minute rule or something like that, then they won't quarantine you. But if you're caught without your mask on around somebody else and they end up coming down with it, then you're automatically going to be like, if you're caught, like I said, then you're going to be like, oh nope, y'all, you got to go home for 2 weeks to make sure you don't have any. And I've got to screen myself every day, and I got to fill out this digital form. It's like, do you have a temperature exceeding 100 degrees? No. Do you have these symptoms? I'm like, no. Have you been in close contact with somebody who's been lab tested for COVID? I'm like, no, I don't know anybody who has COVID. Every morning I have to fill out this form on my email, at work email, and send it in.
Same thing here. Before I go into my building, it's.
I'm just like, gosh, I understand what they're doing. I'm not, it's not like it's complaining. I understand it, but it's just like when you look at stuff like that and you're thinking, man, everybody's just going overboard. But I mean, I understand it. It's just.
I understand it to a point. Till enough people stop doing everything, it's just going to stay that way.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
And then most of my work isn't done on the computer anyway because people don't want to come, and so they stay at home. So I'm doing Zoom sessions.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at my desk, just sitting there staring at people. A little more than that, but anyway. Let's talk about Terra Firma, baby.
Yes, let's do it. Are you guys ready to take our last trip to Tromaville for this month?
Hold on. Let me get someone to hold this boom mic for me. Okay. I'm ready now.
All right.
Do you want to punch in the lung, Sean?
Oh, Cherry.
Tots time.
God, that was so good. Oh, man. All right. Well, let's take a look at 1999's Terra Firma.
Terra Firma. What we got here is your basic serial killer.
You know, your killer's choices of victims indicate some sort of personal animosity against you and your company.
Family values must be saved. Yeah, right. Where's the blood? Where's the blood? Where's the blood? We're done! No! That's a Troma movie! That guy is really dead.
These movie people are disgusting.
Terror Firma. Don't give up the fight for truly independent cinema.
All right, so Terra Firma was released on June 20th, 1999, obviously directed by Lloyd Kaufman, none other. Just a little bit of trivia. This is based on Lloyd's book, All I Needed to Know About Filmmaking I Learned from the Toxic Avenger. Also, scenes and characters are references to real events and people on Troma's sets. One interesting thing that I found out about this movie, I didn't know about this before, is that this is the first Troma movie to be edited digitally, and it was edited on the Avid workstation, which is kind of more of a standard, for people that don't know, it's more of a standard digital editing station for video. So that was interesting that this was the very first one done digitally like that. And then the last one, which is kind of funny, is in the end credits, it has a very special thank you to the New York City Police Department for their cooperation and invaluable help throughout every part of the production. And then if you watch the making of Terra Firma, it shows police constantly clashing with production on several instances, and then even revoking their filming permit, which I think is funny that they had that little jab at the end of the movie with regards to that.
The credits got a whole bunch of stuff in it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the best ending credit scene.
Yeah,
I love Troma movies.
I love how when they credited the characters, they had in parentheses how they died.
Yes,
that was great.
Eli Roth gets a credit too because he turned down a role for the movie. So
that's great. That's so good.
And there's something there about Bill Clinton and his beer and some other shit.
Lloyd takes a couple of jabs at the Clintons in this movie. It's great.
Yeah.
He takes a jab at a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah.
All rights reserved, all less made from the far lane.
One of my favorites is where he's like, well, it's my idea is that the conservatives have put spies in movie sets to disrupt the movie making. Hillary Clinton knows all about it.
They jab at Steven Spielberg a lot in this movie too.
Oh,
Yes, they do.
Casey's favorite director.
I think I'm gonna watch Always or 1942. Something really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch Titanic again
For the first time.
God.
Titanic stinks.
I was going into this movie expecting it to, be another shit show because you said, if you didn't like the Night of the Chicken Dead, Poltergeist, you probably won't like this one. This movie shocked the hell out of me. It was so fun.
It's so much
I was
better
hoping it would, man. Yeah,
and I looked up the stats on it, and I was really surprised to see that it had a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is amazing for this kind of movie.
Yeah.
This is one I show people, man. Like everybody kind of goes a different route, but it's got so much reference to so many things. It's just, it does get gross and kind of crazy sometimes, but there's enough in there, man. That I don't know.
There is a fucking lot of titties in this movie.
Yes, there is. Jesus Christ.
Where's the big-titted women?
and almost as many fake prosthetic, like special effect type titties as there are real ones too.
Yep.
There's even a pair of man with, I guess, titties that walks through while they're talking at one point.
What was the line? Thanks for the memories.
Yeah. I didn't spend all this money on them for them to get ruined on some film set.
Yep.
Yeah, what was with the damn elf ears on that assistant?
I love it when the big breasted woman, she's like, and she says, "I paid a lot of money for these, not for them to get ruined on the film set." And that assistant's like, "I know what you mean." Walks off.
The one thing I love about this movie is that, and it's the main reason why I love this movie, is that it's like an ode to like independent filmmaking. Obviously the movie's about making a movie, and that really resonates with me, just with being in video production and stuff like that, and that being kind of my passion. So seeing that on this, and how it's based off of Lloyd's book and whatnot, and it just really makes it that much more special, I think, at least for me, is just seeing them making a movie, even though it's within a movie. I just really like that.
It's perfect how they do it that way.
I love.
Go ahead. Jake, show me a soda, Mark. You owe me Sunkiss.
I got a half drink Coke Zero you can have.
No, it's Sunkiss.
Backwash.
Just like Sean's wife mailed me Sunkiss one Christmas. You gotta do something. That's just kidding.
I fell in love with this movie in like the first 3 minutes because that opening sequence was so good, and I wrote down a few things from it. So this is the very first scene. You just got a random woman walking down the street, just rips somebody's leg off. Just
out on a limb.
No axes, no knives, just grabs the fucking thing and rips it off.
What are you doing, you effing you took my leg.
You got the transitions with the newspapers, or the serial killer scoreboards, the serial killer 7, victim 0.
Killer D fetuses woman.
Yep.
You got the Toxie Bites cereal.
Yeah.
I really want that
serial killer,
It's
where
a work of a serial killer.
Congress bans breakfast.
Yeah. Congress bans breakfast for being dangerous or something.
And then after the title card, you immediately see Sergeant Kabuki Man in a fake costume and a blind director, which was hilarious because he's telling this chick how beautiful she looked.
Marilyn Monroe. Are you ready, Marilyn? I mean, Christine.
Larry Benjamin.
I just got peed on by a blind independent director. Let's talk about one of my favorite lines. It deals with Joe Flashacre and his son.
Mm.
F you, Dad. Give me money. That's my boy.
Yes. I love that. That guy's funny to me too. He's a prick, but he's funny up to the point where he's dying and screaming about independent cinema.
Yep.
I just love Joe Flashacre. It's great. That's my boy.
And he had one of the best deaths.
Yes. That elevator,
so good.
escalator
That
death
was
is
cool.
so good.
Do you want a square of chocolate? I thought not. I love chocolate. I can eat this all day.
My favorite death, not because of how it was done, but it was because of how much you hated the character. I did personally, was Toddster.
Yes.
I love Todd. I love that character. He was
Todd the Run.
he was such a douchebag. He's like, you gonna choke on Todd's rod and swallow Todd's wad. How do you like Todd's bod?
My bong, dude. I got that in Cancun.
He poured the damn bong water up his asshole.
Take the butt in there. Take the butt out. Take the butt out.
Yeah. It's like,
Put the cocaine in there too. Hey, that cocaine's expensive.
I will say, if this wasn't a Troma movie and it wasn't like a wacky like type B movie, that fake voice would have thrown me off.
Right.
But from the beginning, I was pretty dead set. I knew who the killer was. But if it was anything else, because that voice was just out there, no, he was not doing that voice. No fucking way he was doing that voice.
either.
No way.
Mm.
How about the
What
kid
about-
at the end that's the whole time, ooh, ooh, and then goes to kill, you homicidal, hermaphrodite. I don't even know all the shit she says, but she's perfectly clear at that point.
Old something. You killed my daddy.
Yeah.
Do I need to take toilet paper and wipe all your butts?
I
I'll
love
do
his
it.
breakdown. I was like, that's how
I'm
you
gonna blow my
freaking
brains
get
out.
mad. That's how you handle the set when you get mad. It's
Yeah.
like Lloyd did right there.
I'm gonna blow my brains out, and it'll be your fault. I love the how they mention the you know, back in the 80s, Morton Downey Jr. and Michael Hurst Michael Hurst and Lloyd went on the Morton Downey Jr. show.
Yep.
And, you know, that whole thing. So they referenced that. We call it the Morton Springer show.
Yeah. Yeah, Lloyd's like, he's going after people a little bit in this one. It's great.
Yeah.
He needs to sometimes.
Yeah, it's. I mean, obviously, he's like standing up and sticking to like mainstream cinema,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it feels like he's more standing up for independent cinema.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
Because he's not like saying these guys are garbage and shouldn't exist. They're saying these guys are just as garbage as I am, and I should be next to them.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree with that.
I do. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
One of my favorite gags that happened was when they're at the party where Toddster gets killed. You have that girl sniff that guy's armpit.
That's so gross, but it's so good.
She liked that. I'll tell you that.
That's how
She
you
went-
find a woman, Ted.
She's like, I
she's
hate that
drunk.
guy, but we wouldn't have met if it wasn't for him.
So, Sean, you're saying I should go up to every woman and just stick my armpit in their faces?
Hey, the first one that takes a whiff, you might have a chance.
Hey,
Hey.
there you go.
Hey, Sean, you know that I'll do it.
Kind of going back to the movie here. What about pickles?
Get Sorry, Dad.
What
F
about
you, Sean? Give me money.
so? What about the use of pickles in this movie?
Yeah, that was my next note. Was the pickle dildo?
You know how gross her mom is with all the snot on her face.
That every time I see that, it makes me want to vomit.
I don't care.
even think
There's
of
not nearly as gross as sticking a fucking pickle in your pussy and getting off.
Oh.
gotta
Unfortunately,
leave a
it was all
stench.
that extra pickle time that I think led to Mom being such a mess. But
Yeah, she was being neglected. Her daughter's a harlot.
and she wanted it bad, didn't she?
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
did.
It was. I was like, Casey is obviously got problems because
Yeah,
she's
And-
like, is that the bedroom over there? I really love this movie.
yeah, she was filming that sex scene with the Toxic Avenger sex scene, and it was over. They were done rolling, and they just forgot everyone was there and started fucking for real.
And everybody cheered at the end. It was so good.
Turn the camera on.
You have
And then-
Casey standing there with the boom mic. No, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, no."
And then when they finish,
The place just erupts.
He's like, take 2 from the top, same exact thing.
What about the closed set when everybody's still there? She's
Yep.
like, "Is that my 3rd grade teacher?" Hi, Jennifer.
Oh my god.
They're making fun of shows too, like Seinfeld when they went on that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That was
so
so
great.
good.
I can't hear you because I got a pickle in my ear.
She gets the
Oh,
was
that
it the
last track is
tampon, and
great.
he's like, "That's not a pickle." Ken laughter.
Another thing I loved about this movie is the cameos in it. I mean, you got Lemmy in it.
Yeah.
Doing the interview.
How do you feel about being married to this fat? That's one of the greatest lines too. Of the movie.
It's so good. And then Ron
I don't know if
Jeremy.
Yeah. I don't know if it's on everything in the end credits with Lemmy too. He gives his little public service announcement.
Hermaphrodite
Yeah.
PSA.
Oh, with Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yeah.
That too,
Yeah.
Taking a dump in the little bucket.
Well, they couldn't figure out what bathroom to go to.
What was the name of the organization? Hummus.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's make the world a better place for all people with both sex.
I loved when they were interviewing. They were interviewing Lloyd, and that cough did her snort laugh.
Yes, the pig laugh. It was great.
I love it when they tell him too. They're like, "Okay, we have to rough you up a little bit. Not determined, but we have a quota to fill here."
We got quotas.
He had a
that
plunger
blonde-
in his hand.
You have that blonde chick in the bikini. She's like, "Why are you looking at me that way? What? Why are you looking at me?"
I love the continuity conversation.
Yeah,
Yes.
the guy's shirtless with tape on his nipples.
God.
And he's
And then
like,
the
I don't
next
know what
thing
you're
is-
talking about.
He has a beard in the neck, and then they're switched places.
Makes me think. I think the character's name is Andy, who starts off as a dude and slowly
Yeah.
evolves as to a chick as the movie goes on.
Yep.
The mustache, the beard disappears.
Grows boobs, gets lipstick.
And he's behind the speakers out on the dock getting jerked off.
Yep.
Get it! When Jennifer comes across him. I love how they plugged the Troma website to buy VHS and DVD.
Yes. That was good.
You can buy every movie on VHS or DVD with the director's commentary. Just go to Troma.com, securely online, or mail in.
And then they tried to mold the head of that fat dude,
Mhm.
and he ended up getting a little lucky with that brunette chick
Yep.
just
Sense
out of
of
nowhere.
deprivation. Since
And then shit starts popping off, and he runs away, and he runs out into the fucking streets of New York. And
Times
the
Square.
yeah, and then
That
the
was so
car flip scene that gets reused comes in and lands on top of his head, and he's sitting there wiggling around with that tiny little freaking pube bush and his little chode sticking out, and his head is squished, completely gone, and he's like, "Oh, I got to cover up my dick. I don't want anybody to see it."
And then the car just blows up.
It's so good.
Yeah, you can see underneath it where the pyrotechnics are coming out.
Oh my god. Well, speaking of deaths, what was your guys' favorite death in this movie?
As far as visually, I'd say Joel Schumacher's
Yes.
and I love it when Toster gets it just because he's a prick. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the dude, my brain.
What's funny is in the credits, the death of the French guys is referenced again because it says all animals, actors, and other forms of life were handled at utmost care in the filming, and no one was drug sedated or harmed, except for those French guys in the car who were accidentally run over by an equipment truck.
It's not my. This isn't my favorite, but I really want to mention that dummy being cut off and being crucified on the wall, and then she freaking stretches his dick across the room. That was fucking great.
Pervert.
My favorite would have to be the escalator.
Yeah.
That was so freaking that was epic. And when he got pushed down the escalator and he was like doing the flip tumble, it was just so obviously a stuffed dummy.
It was so good. I loved it.
We've all thought about that.
You better hope that my back didn't get thrown out.
You know, you thought about that when you were a kid, when it was
Being
coming up to
sucked
that
in,
part.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. I got to make a good step.
Got to jump.
Yep. What about you, Ted? What was your favorite death in this?
Oh, Joe Flyshaker.
Okay.
By far. Because
Yeah.
his character is great. I just love him as being a dad who loves his son, saying "F you, give me money." That's my boy. That's my favorite line in the whole movie. Right? Just that's my boy. He says it with such. He's so proud.
Yeah. It's
I
good.
love it.
Yeah, his death was definitely my favorite. It's one of the goriest. It's just so good. And then the kid playing with his head afterwards was just priceless.
What about Larry's daughter at the end when she's crying after he got blown up and she's
Just
holding his head? Does she just toss
Throws it.
All the cops are surrounding his body still. I think he's moving. I think he's moving.
We got a live one here. Drop the cane. Drop the cane.
So
Another
good.
one of my favorite parts was when Toxie gave birth.
To his own mother is what they
It's
said.
just like, no, she's your mother.
We're now just like any normal American family.
God, I love this movie.
How about when that dude is getting laid in the bathroom and Lloyd just walks in and pisses all over him?
Yeah, that's so good.
He's got two solid streams coming up.
That scene always reminds me of the first time I actually saw this movie, which is I rented it from Blockbuster and it was an R-rated cut. I had heard of it, but I didn't know anything about it. And I go home and I watch this thing, and it is not the movie we all just watched. It was like
No,
this
it's not.
edited version. And that particular scene when they go in the bathroom, like this happens a lot in the movie. Like a black box comes up covering everything, and it's Lloyd standing there describing what happens. And he's like, he's got like a stick figure woman and a stick figure guy there, and he's throwing frozen peas at the picture. But
That's great.
yeah, that's the first time I saw this, and I was like, I don't know what Troma's doing, and that was funny, but it just didn't hit right. And then I actually months later got to see the real version and fell in love. But
I've got that. I've got the R-rated version on DVD.
yeah,
It's great to have.
complete
just that.
different experience, but worth
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
at least one time watching. So
For
Because
sure.
wasn't it Blockbuster that forced him to edit the movies, or else they wouldn't
I
have
think so.
carried it?
Yeah,
So
like
he
there's
had
anytime there's nudity, there's big black bars that say censored over it and all kinds of stuff.
And this is why Blockbuster's no longer around.
Blockbuster's no longer around because they were idiots and didn't buy Netflix when they had the chance to.
Exactly. They did stupid shit, and
Yeah.
they got stupid prizes. Oh, so good.
Remember their commercial, and they said no more late fees,
Yep.
but yet there were still late fees.
God.
It just wasn't like, oh, you're a day late. But if you were like 2 or 3 days late or something like that, you still got a late fee. So it was all bullcrap.
Right. Oh,
I still look
classic.
at that commercial from time to time on YouTube and just start laughing. I was just like, you guys knew you were failing at that point.
Right. God, I fucking love this movie though. Actually, to kind of kick things off with ratings on this, just for the fact because it's about filmmaking and stuff like this, and it's got a special place in my heart, especially for that. Plus, I mean, for a Troma movie, this is pretty balls to the wall, and it's not like oh, what am I trying to say? Like, it's not like Poultrygeist where they just put too much stuff into it, where it's just like overly gross out. I think with Terra Firma, it's got just kind of like a nice balance of everything, but it's still like over the top and wacky, which I love. For a rating on this, for those two particular things, with it just being like the perfect mix of everything and having to deal with filmmaking, this is definitely a 5 out of 5 for me. It's definitely my favorite Troma movie, I think, out of all of them.
Yeah, there's a few Troma movies I hold close to my heart, but this hands down is my number one favorite Troma movie. All of them, just there's good ones, but this is like, I don't know, it's the ultimate. It's like the holy grail. It's the best one. Lloyd's best work, as far as I'm concerned. And
It's
5 out of 5 for me too, man.
I guess you could call it like a culmination of everything that he did before just coming together.
And what's great is it's about filmmaking, so how much even more perfect is that?
Yeah.
So 5 out of 5 for sure.
Yeah, with everything you said about it, and I like best was Ted's the way he explained rating movies, because as far as like enjoyment and how much I enjoyed this movie, I have to give this movie a 5, because there is not 1 second of this movie that I didn't like. Even when the dude was shoveling the shit into his mouth, and this is definitely not chocolate pudding, I still laugh my fucking ass off. Yeah, totally 5 out of 5.
Phil. It's old man Phil. Oh no. It's okay. I know mouth to mouth.
That's another scene we forgot about. Is like after you got the black guy that gets killed after giving the speech about people dying. Then you got the son.
Yeah, it was like a whole
Joe's
sequence.
Son, and then all of a sudden you get the one. He's like, "All right, back to work," and everybody runs.
They're back to work. The black guy, wasn't he bald at first? But then when they took the light off of him, he had an afro. And he
Yeah, something like that.
That was great. He has an afro. Of course, I love this movie. The first time I saw it, I thought it was just fantastic. It's I don't know what to say that hasn't been said that you guys have already said. To be honest with you, it's very entertaining.
Yeah,
it's got so many gags and jokes. It's great. I mean, the movie's it's 2 hours long, and it doesn't feel like it's 2 hours.
No,
long.
it really doesn't.
Poultrygeist felt its time. You know, it felt like a long movie.
Yeah,
because
I'll agree with that. This stuff goes much better pace.
Yeah, the pacing in Poultrygeist was just it should have been cut out, which we talked about last week. But this movie's perfect in its pacing. It's funny. It's got characters that are just hilarious to laugh at. Because Joe's my favorite. I miss Joe Fleischhacker.
Yeah,
I just guys. It's not going to be the same without him anymore.
How can you make a Troma movie without him, right?
That's without their biggest action star.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he started off in Troma's War. That was his first movie.
Yep.
With them. And then he did Toxic Avenger 2, 3, Sergeant Kabuki Man, Tromeo and Juliet, this, Toxie 4 as Toxie's ward. Basically, they're making fun of Batman and Robin, of course.
Yep.
Toxie, I'll eat this bomb. I'll put my super peanut butter on it and swallow the bomb. So my ranking, I just got to go with the 5. It's so entertaining. I love it.
Yeah,
I just crack up all the time watching it. It's almost like every time I pop it in. I'm going for a ride that I love.
Yep.
So definitely. Somebody stop me. Definitely.
Please stop.
Ted loves this movie.
Awesome. Oh, I mean, this is the perfect way to end this month with Terra Firma. I mean, definitely, it's by far the best Troma movie, and that's definitely my opinion, and I know it's probably all of our opinion, but it's great. And we would love to know what you guys think as well. You can always reach out to us through our social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at CLS Podcast. Starting next week for the month of September, we're going to be switching focus from Troma to movies focused around food. So we're going to kick it off with the classic Return of the Killer Tomatoes. So get ready for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's a fun movie. I mean, it's stupid, but it's fucking fun.
Great, yeah.
And I'm super stoked for that. It's going to be a fun one.
Transition from Troma to food, right?
Right. Exactly.
That's how we do.
Precisely. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. Thank you again for checking out this week's episode. And once again, we are excited to be part of the Slash and Cast podcast network. It's going to be a lot of fun going forward. Being able to work with these guys and collaborate and kind of shout out different podcasts that are on the network. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But any final words of wisdom for us as we leave?
You have to own the right to rock.
I'm going to say don't accept homemade pickles.
Oh, you know what? We didn't even talk about Ron Jeremy being the dad. I just now thought of that.
Yeah.
Here's life advice. Be more prepared when you do a podcast about movies you love.
F you, Dad. Give me money.
I'm sticking by mine. Don't ever accept homemade pickles.
Exactly. All right.
I
Well,
just wanted to throw a Bill and Ted reference in there.
yes, and go see Bill and Ted's Face the Music because it's fucking awesome.
Because you're losers if you don't. No, I'm just kidding. You're not a loser. Sean is.
I'm gonna try, Ted.
Sean is. If you can, definitely check it out. I say Bill and Ted Face the Music was really entertaining.
Definitely. All right. Well, we will see you guys next week.
Thanks for joining us today for the CLS podcast. Check us out at www.clspodcast.com or join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag CLS Podcast. Until next time, stay safe, campers.